Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. Today, I have with me Clive Cusens. Now, Clive, I met, and I know all of you who are regular listeners, part of my badass crew on the show here, are not going to be surprised when you find out that I met Clive through, everybody say it together, BNI. So Clive and I met through the Global Power team, and he actually is in the world of network marketing. And so Clive Cusens joined the Innovators Club back in 2019 because he wanted to learn how to make money online in order to fulfill his dream of becoming a digital nomad. Whilst working on improving his trading skills, he decided to use the available network marketing business opportunity to build his residual income on the side. He now manages a team of over 160 people in 26 countries and travels the world together with his girlfriend, who is also involved in the business. His goal for 2023 is to inspire 500 people to learn the skills that he's learned and help them to make that leap into creating multiple income streams for themselves. So welcome to the show, Clive.
Hey, Jennie, good to be here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And so when you and I first met, I believe you were in Malta, and now you are where?
In Romania.
So it sounds to me like you're living your dream of being a digital nomad.
Yeah, I managed to achieve that dream back in March 2021. And Romania isn't my final destination this year. We've already got about 5 or 6 trips lined up.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And really, you and I both have the same dream, right? I'm here where I am in St. Louis right now because my kids, helping them grow. And then eventually my goal is to be able to travel the world just like you are and podcast from everywhere and coach from everywhere. It's going to be great, she said. So Clive, tell us, how did you get started in Innovators Club? What were you doing beforehand, and how did you find out about it?
Right. Well, I had a varied career path. I was an employee. I worked for the government as a diplomat. I had my own business, traditional business in corporate trading. And I read a book purely by chance. I'd recently moved back to Malta after 8 years in Belgium. My shipping container was 2 weeks late, so I had nothing to do for 2 weeks. And I picked up this book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, read it within 2 days, and that book completely changed my life. And unlike most people who'd say like, okay, that was a good book, I thought to myself, I want to implement what this book said. I want to create multiple income streams for myself as passively as possible. And I want to be able to make money from anywhere in the world. So that was the seed. And then, as luck would have it, a friend of mine showed me this platform that is a subscription-based platform that teaches you how to trade. And I was highly skeptical because I have no background in finance. I'm terrible at math. And I thought, like, could I do this? Well, that question was answered and then some, because not only did I learn how to trade, but I've been trading full-time since March 2020, started traveling, living the life of a digital nomad in March 2021. And here I am today in January 2023, living the dream, helping 160 people in 26 countries doing this together. And it's an extremely fulfilling experience.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. And so in this time, where would you say has been your greatest area of growth that Innovators Club has brought for you?
Well, initially, I wasn't really interested in network marketing. I thought I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to trade and see how it goes. But once I saw that this thing delivered, that if you apply the education and give it your all, you can succeed, then I could, with hand on heart, start recommending it to other people, So essentially, I tried the product, made sure it worked, and then I became evangelical about it. I started telling everyone. And growth really came once I got people to understand that they didn't need to also become a pro trader before they started telling people about it, that they could, see for themselves. Are you learning? Can you trade? Are you seeing results? If the answers to those three questions is a yes, then now's the time to tell people about this.
Gotcha. And I think that's a huge thing because I think there are a number of network marketers and people who are in direct sales who think they have to have their own before and after story, whether it's a health and wellness company or whatever it may be, right? I mean, they think that they have to know everything before they start inviting people along on the journey. And I think you're absolutely right in that, you know what, as long as you're just a few steps further down the road, for a few steps further down the path than the people that you're inviting to join you and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's learn this together. It creates this community of people who are learning. And then you've got people who are supporting you, right?
That's exactly it. It really is all about the community. When someone in my team now wants to get started in the business, it's the first question they have, like, I need to show people results. I'm like, well, I have the results. We trade together 4 days a week. So you can show them those results until you get there. And once you bring in a few people yourself, now you're not alone. Now there's a bunch of you trying to grow the community. And it is all about the community. I mean, I have full-time traders in my team who knew how to trade before they joined us.
Wow.
And still pay their subscription because they feel the community in itself is worth everything. So the platform gives you access to professional traders who teach you how to trade. My community is apart from that. The Innovators Club is a community. It isn't a product. And we're an organized community of people who use the product. And now, once people feel what happens in the community, be it helping people to improve in trading, or in mindset, or in growing their business, the community is an added benefit.
Oh, that I have to say that is really the benefit in any direct sales and network marketing is the community of people that you have around you who are so supportive. It doesn't matter the company, but in this case, I mean, the fact that for a lot of people, finances and crypto and all of this is so scary. And because it's this complete unknown, completely misunderstood area of business, right? So what drew you to the crypto part? What have you learned through the crypto education?
Well, I actually started learning about Forex trading. I got into crypto about a year after I'd started trading, simply because crypto is more volatile than Forex. Forex here is the exchange of currencies backed by governments and central banks. Crypto has evolved so much. And the 3.5 years that I've been involved with it, of course, it's been going on much longer than that. But in the 3.5 years since I got involved in all of this, it's grown to ridiculous heights. And unfortunately, there's a lot out there. There's too much out there. There are about 16,500 different crypto coins in the market now. And unfortunately, many of those coins are useless.
Right.
Some of them are fantastic and are essentially a good hedge against gold or the dollar. But with so much out there and with so much opportunity to make money, that scams will rear their head. So it's become even more fundamental that people educate themselves before investing any money in anything these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's hard enough when it's something that's, when finances of money that we understand is confusing enough, but then to jump into something that is so new, because I mean, we're really in the wild, wild west, to use a U.S. metaphor. We're in the wild west of cryptocurrency right now, where things are just, it's like the 1849 gold rush. Like everyone's rushing to California. No one knows where the hell they're going, where they're going to dig, why they're going to dig, but by golly, they're going to go dig for gold, right? And this is the new thing. So having this community of education, right? Because I really get the feel in the sense, because I've been kind enough to have me come train your team and talk to them about how to talk about the business and how to do all of that. The education is really a key component for you guys.
Well, I tell everyone, this is my catchphrase in my business networking meetings as well. Before you invest money in anything, invest in time to understand it. And what attracted me to this product is that it's not a physical product, it's education. It teaches you a skill, and no one can take that away from you. It's not purchasing physical products to then resell. It's purchasing education, accessing education. And that's what really fascinated me about the business model of the company. I'm paying to learn. I'm doing a course, and no one can take that skill away from you. Now, some people join my team with the best of intentions and just lose motivation after a while. Hey, it happens. I like to say that anyone can trade, but trading isn't for everyone. Because you do have to learn, you do have to practice, you have to put in some work, but hey, this is work that pays you. This is work that can pay you anywhere in the world with an internet connection.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. And it's funny how I get people from all walks of life. I have CEOs, I have high-level executives, I have single moms, I've got students. We're all united by one thing. We want to learn the skill that makes us money online.
And I think that's what a lot of people are really gearing towards these days. I know here in the U.S., one of the biggest issues we're facing right now is an employment crisis, which is so many places are looking to hire, but they want people to come to work. And everyone's like, no, I like working from home. I want to do this work from home thing now. And so it's this interesting thing. So now people have this opportunity. I mean, network marketing has been around since the 1950s-ish. So, we've had this opportunity for a long time, but only now are people really starting to get the benefit of this and see all the different opportunities that are available to them. So for you, Clive, what has been I would say, it hasn't always been roses and rainbows. No business ever is. What has been the biggest obstacle that you have overcome in your business with Innovators Club?
Well, I think in industry in general, the hardest thing to explain to people is the difference between multi-level marketing, which is legal, and a pyramid scheme, which is illegal. Most people, jump to that the second you start talking about ranks and growth and volume. A lot of people get jaded, they shut down.
Right.
And something interesting that happened to me was the way someone described it to me recently. And I loved the way he described it. He said, think about opening a restaurant. Now you're going to make money if you get clients. But what would really kick you up the ladder is if you decided to franchise that restaurant. And finding people to buy a license, and pay you for that license, and they make money and you make money off them and so on. He said that would be a dream for any businessman in the business of restaurants, yeah? And I thought that's such a cool analogy because it's true. And this is what network marketing is. It's creating affiliates, new business owners and so on. And people don't frown on that. People applaud that. But then they look at network marketing immediately and in a negative light. So I really think it's all about perspective. I like to explain to people how companies work. Companies need to sell products, and they sell products via marketing. They're either going to have a marketing budget, or they're going to give you the money for doing the work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And once they see it in a new light, that seems to help them understand the difference.
I love that. It's very true, because network marketing is the micro version of franchising. It's micro franchising. It's franchising, instead of. So I'm going to use the example of one of my friends. My friend Bob wanted to buy into like a franchise, and they wanted $100,000. $100,000 to buy a franchise so that he could, and it was a restaurant franchise, so that he could put some locations in the area where we live. He wasn't able to raise the venture capital. It didn't work out, right? But we in network marketing are able to get into business, buy a franchise license for anywhere from the least expensive franchise option I've seen, and I'm putting air quotes around franchise here, is like $35 for some network marketing companies, and some of them it's $500 or $1,000, right? It just depends, but that's way different than $100,000 just for the right. That doesn't even include building of the restaurant and all of that. That was just to buy the right to do it. And we can get into the business. We can get into micro franchising for $100, $150, depending on the company. It's such a great opportunity, and I like the way to think about it. I like the way that you place that it's really a mini franchise.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, with no limit on growth, because you can turn around and sell the mini franchise to somebody else, and they can sell the mini franchise to somebody else. I mean, it's brilliant. Love it. I think I just found the title for this episode. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that right there, Clive, could be your growth vehicle to hit that goal of 2023 for 500 people. I'm looking to sell 500 mini franchises. Who wants in?
That's what I'm going for.
There you go. Exactly. So now, as you work to grow your team this year, working to build by 500, what kind of plan do you have in place in order to move that goal forward?
Well, when I first started, I'm not sure many of your listeners even know where Malta is. So for those of you listening, Malta is a tiny republic. It's an island republic in the Mediterranean Sea, measuring about 20 miles in length and 12 miles in width.
Okay.
I'm not very good with miles. We do kilometers, but
right.
Yeah, it's 27 kilometers by 15 kilometers. It's a tiny, tiny island. And I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that a guy from this rock in the Mediterranean now reaches people in 26 different countries. Now, I did that largely through networking, visiting international business networking meetings, word of mouth. And then I started my social media channels. I started TikTok at the beginning of 2022. I never imagined I'd be on TikTok. I thought TikTok was for teenagers dancing and putting faces and doing silly things. But it's been good for growth. It's been good for business. And I'm surprised myself at the results I've been having. And of course, in my particular business sector, it's hard to fight against the scams. Not only do I need to get recognized, but I need to prove to people that I'm legit. Yeah. But nevertheless, I have had relatively good success with social media. Now, my plan for growth, of course, is to inspire others. Like anyone in the network marketing business, once you've reached a certain level, you shift your focus from looking for clients to building leaders. And that is my goal for 2023. It's already started. So I have a number of teams, business-minded teams, forming within my community. And I now have Team Malta building the business. I have Team Belgium building the business. And soon as my girlfriend and I get back to Cyprus, which is our next trip after Romania, we'll be replicating what the Maltese guys have been doing there in Cyprus.
Fabulous. And that's really the key. I mean, for the person listening right now, I want to speak to the listener right now. If you're here in the United States and you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's building internationally, think of this as states, right? So if you're currently listening from New York State, go build Connecticut, go build Pennsylvania, go build Delaware, right? That's what Clive is doing. He's building in his corner of the world to start, helping them get going, helping them get running, get these teams up and running. And then he goes and starts one in another country. Well, for you guys, that might be, in a state that's close by, easy for you to get to. I think I want you to begin to think about building within states, and then you can begin to, if your company is international, go to Canada, go to Mexico, go to Australia, the UK, build yourselves around that way, just like Clive is doing. That is phenomenal. So knowing all of this, Clive, the next thing I want to say is you have been kind enough to put together a 90-minute webinar that you are offering just for the listeners of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about your complimentary webinar.
Right. So first of all, I'd like to address the fundamental difference between trading and investing. Many people listening probably think, yeah, okay, what Clive does is buy crypto coins on an exchange. The only way you can make money that way is if you buy low and sell high. But my trading is different. The trading I do is known as CFDs. I can make money even when the price of Bitcoin is crashing, because we don't buy or sell anything. We make predictions, and if we're right, we get paid. And if we're wrong, we lose money. So throughout the webinar, I'll be teaching people the basics of crypto trading in the way I do it. I'll be teaching them how we apply correct risk management to make sure we never risk more than 2% of our account max per trade. So people will learn how to trade safely, responsible within strict risk parameters, and to see firsthand, because we'll be doing this live. Of course, people will see firsthand what it means to how we can make money even if the price of Bitcoin is going down. I mean, who knows? By the time we actually have the webinar, the price of Bitcoin might go up, but we can show this on the webinar happening in real time.
Oh, that is amazing. So I'm sure many of you have been hearing about all these cryptos and doing this and doing that. If you want to come learn the basics, Clive is just going to be showing everybody what they are. So I'm going to be there. I've got it in my calendar to attend Clive's webinar. I'm going to bring a few people with me, and I would love to also have you, my badass crew, here with me learning this information, because this is something that I've been hearing about for years and have been pushing off and haven't been doing anything about it. And I feel like now is the time. I'm going to miss the boat if I don't hurry up and jump on it. So Clive is sending me, and by the time you guys listen to this, there's a link in the show notes for you to go register for the webinar. It's just a Zoom webinar registration link, guys. It's super easy. You guys have all registered for a Zoom before. I know you have. So for those of you, if this is your first time listening to the show, all you have to do to get to the show notes so that you can find the link, grab your phone, as long as you're not driving, grab your phone, click on today's episode, and scroll up just a little bit, and you'll see the show notes are listed below the picture. And then you'll see the link. You might have to click see more to get more information to get to the part where the link is. So make sure you click on that. Go register to attend. It is happening on March 25th. It's a Saturday. It's the day after my virtual summit ends. Go check out Clive's 90-minute webinar to learn the basics of trading, not investing. Trading. Those are two different things, guys. And learning how to do so safely, responsibly, and with minimal risk. So that is the way to do it. So Clive, thank you so much for being here today. I so appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Jenny. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. I am so super glad to be able to learn more about your business and hear and share it with my audience, because I'm sure they're all probably just as confused and wondering as I am. So if we can get everybody onto that webinar, so that way they are less confused and feel a little more comfortable with the information. Because guys, you all know I don't claim to be great at math, and Clive said he's not great at math. That's okay. You don't have to do calculus in order to trade. It's all good. So thank you again for being here, Clive. I so appreciate you. And Badass Crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned, because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast, so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.